Actually, a little earlier than that. When we first met, I was a young coach at the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina. My dad and Marc were on the coaching staff of the Cleveland Browns. I would come up to visit, and Marc opened his door one day and just said, "Hey, you can stay in here, work out of here." And I kind of set up shop there and followed him from there. And we kind of rekindled our relationship more closer from the time that I was trying to help a young man get into NC State. Marc was coaching there, called him, and then from there I invited him up to come up to be a guest coach in Montreal, and the next year we hired him as the head coach. Well, you know, the first thing is that just like I learned as a young man, he's a caring person, he's inviting. It's the attention to detail, it's the specifics, it's family, it's teaching to do the right thing, whether it's on the football field, but especially in life. And that's a lot what I'm about, and it's just a great connection.
I don't know a better family man. He's raising 6 kids. His wife's doing most of it half the time. But no, this is a great father. It's great. He's a great husband. He's a caring person. He's got over 20 years of experience in this league, and we spent 5 of the best years of my life and my family's life, coaching in Montreal, doing it with Jim as the general manager. So, there's certainly a great connection here. There's not a connection over the 20 years that we were apart since he came by the Browns offices, but there's also that connection of us have done this together and worked together. And I have a lot of weaknesses, and Jim brings out those strengths. So it's a mutual together type of workmanlike relationship. And Jim handles his areas and puts the team together, and he gives me the opportunity to handle my area, and that's to coach the team.
Well, I think both of us, as this appeared something might take place in Toronto, we were speaking already just because we were both sitting out there and just keeping our relationship together via texting or talking to one another. And then when it became a potential place for myself and for Marc, we talked. I think each week it went by, we got really excited about it. This is an unbelievable opportunity to work in a world-class city for an unbelievable ownership, and get to have one of these 41 jobs in the world that pro football offers. And but as we really embarked and looked into everything, then it was like, man, this is really might happen, and this could be exciting if we could do it.
Well, I think Montreal is a home of ours.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of a very important time of our life there. We love Montreal. We love the province of Quebec, and we love the CFL. And we're able, and we're fortunate enough to be sitting here today, and as Jim said, being part of something that from the ground floor, so to speak, and we can build it. And we've got a great supporting cast of resources with our ownership and our front office people, and we're all just trying to work together one day at a time to build something that we think can be a great thing for everybody involved and for the community here. I think you grow in any job that you do, wherever you are, with the people that you're at. You deal in circumstances that force you to think and to make decisions and to grow as an individual, both emotionally and mentally, and as a leader. So I think everything that happened in the 4-year intervention between the time I left Montreal and now is certainly helpful. But I don't look at the coaching any difference. I don't look at the day-to-day purpose any difference of, trying to coach guys, help them master their craft, allow them to grow as people and as leaders. And that job doesn't change, in football, north or south of the border, or in any business that you're in. It's really all the same. That's a hypothetical that's tough to answer. Jim said it. The stars were aligned. A situation existed in a great city great diversity, culture. There's so many different things to do in this city, and to coach a football team and to do it together and to be a part of something it just worked out that way. I can't go to the hypotheticals. I don't know, but it just happened, and as Jim said, we got more excited about it as it got closer to coming to fruition, and and it's here now. And we've tried to make every day count since February 28th. We haven't wasted a day to try to get the Argonauts better.
I didn't actually meet him. It just happened to be one of my first nights out in town, and with my brother and sister-in-law, just going for an evening of dinner and out, and we just end up in the same place, and there he is. So, you know, I didn't realize it at first because there were so many people trying to take pictures, and I'm trying to watch a basketball game, and then I realized who was across the room from us. So it's pretty cool.
He's got an open invitation to come to practice.
Anytime. He's welcome.
Well, we expect every day to earn our fans' trust. We have to do that every day by getting better in practice and doing the things necessary so the product on the field is, as I said, my first day on the job, is something that they'll be proud of, that they'll want to come and see. They'll see effort and intensity and enthusiasm and a bunch of guys who love football and are going to put everything else out there, and that's all we're going to do, and we're going to let the results, you know, stand for themselves. But, you know, that's our job. Is we got a bunch of guys in our locker room. They love football. They're working every day, and we got to put what we see in practice, that effort, that enthusiasm, that, you know, that toughness has got to come into place. So when people come to our games, they say that's a team we can be proud of. And number one, we want to be proud of that team, and by us being proud, we think our fans will be proud as well.
All right, well,
why don't you start?
You know, listen, what you realize with I've been very fortunate to be part of some great quarterbacks, and they all have that characteristic. They've had success all along the way. You come along, and then you have these Hall of Fame guys, and they've been through a lot. You know, they've had a lot of coaching changes. They've seen different systems, but most of the time, they've adapted and had success. And if there's similarities, this is what I could probably say. We've yet to see Ricky Ray play, but just knowing his history and knowing Anthony's history, they're two tremendous people. I mean, that's the first thing. Off the field, they're two tremendous leaders. They have their own style, but in regards to being able to adapt, we've seen that happen with these men. And and what I know about Marc, Marc does an unbelievable job of preparing. He does an unbelievable job with making them believe anything's possible and it can get done. And I know that rejuvenated Ricky right off the bat when we hired Marc. So you can take it from there.
Yeah, there's really nothing more to say. When the big difference is when I took the job in Montreal, I didn't know Anthony Calvillo. I had never seen him play. Coming to Toronto, I stood on the sidelines and watched Ricky Ray do the damage he can do as an offensive player and a quarterback, and we saw that, against our teams in Montreal. So I was at least knowledgeable of his accomplishments and of what he can do, and he's doing that every day. He's transcending our locker room. He's on top of the offense. He's consistently performing out in practice, and so it's exciting to know that he's done it. We've seen him do it, and we've got a bunch of guys on this team trying to take care of him and protect him, so he can do the job he needs to do, the most important job. And in sports is playing quarterback for a football team. The dynamic is transcends everything, and we're excited to have him with us.
Well, Marc's a tremendous speaker, first of all. So, when he speaks, right away gets your attention. But, one, he's had success in the CFL. I believe we go back the 5 years in Montreal when we hired Marc. There was question, what are you guys doing? It was quick to know what we were doing, and people found out real quick what Marc was about and what he was able to bring to the table. So when you know the person and then you get in a room and you listen to him speak, he gets people's attention. They listen. They want to play for him. And it's no different than whether it's the quarterback position or everybody in the room. He has a unique way of bringing them all together and follow the way that we want to do in a professional manner, and to get them to perform that. But when we arrived here, there was a good foundation, much better than people may believe. We've been able to tweak it and add to it along the way. We will continue to do that if we need to. We all hope that we have the right pieces to the puzzle here already, but that's an everyday evaluation that we go through, not for just players, all of us, to be better, and we attempt to be better, and we surely will try to be the best we can on the field.
It's our job just to put a good football team on the field. We can't get caught up in everything else that's going on around us. It's our job to put a product on the field that we can be proud of. And if we're proud of it, our community will be proud of it. And we'll see what happens from there. We don't have any other expectations but to get the job done that we have to do, and that's to put a team on the field that we appreciate and we can be proud of. That's it. Number one, we want to play every play with a sense of urgency. We got to take care of the football. We got to be a good tackling team. We got to play smart, and we got to play in the fourth quarter. It's a 57+3 game. Last 3 minutes are the toughest in all of sports. If we take care of the football and we tackle, we got a chance to be in the game in the fourth quarter and have a chance to have a winning locker room. It's really that simple. We got to be a fundamentally sound team that plays smart in a league that has a lot of different kinds of rules. Got to understand the rules and play smart football.
You know, what was unique about my career, and maybe I had to redo that up and down as the leader, you know, in Montreal of a team that stayed at the top for quite a long time. It was being rebuilt along the way, but we were able to stay there at the top. But prior to coming to the CFL, I was part of 2 startup football leagues. I was part of, when I did come in this league, to a team that we had to revamp in Saskatchewan, start a new team in Baltimore, start a new team in Montreal. That was kind of something that I really relished and wanted to do and took a lot of pride in, and you know, and maybe got some notoriety out of it. Then I stayed somewhere a long time, which was a real challenge to itself. But when this opportunity came along to come to Toronto, to get to do that again, to get to do it with an individual that you communicate and we're on the same page all the time and have the same thoughts and morals of how we should do things the right way. It's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. I mean, I think we come out every day smiling and going, you know, we're thankful that we're able to do this on a daily basis. And
you know, we have our own way of seeing things, you know, and ultimately our job here is to put a winning team on the field. I don't make it that big. I just try to win each day with the players, try to get them to get better at what they're doing, create an environment that we can grow leaders, create an environment that builds a team into a strong, emotionally interconnected team, and I try to keep it simple. And I think if I do that on my end and Jim takes care of bringing the team together, that's where it is. We're not really doing the same things on a daily basis. Right. His challenges are different than my challenges. His are more big picture. Mine are compartmentalized, one day at a time. You know, make sure we know where we're going, how we're going to get there, and when we're going to do it. But at the end of the day, it's really about becoming a better football team and a better person each and every day, and that's what leads to, I think that leads to winning on game day, and I stand by that.